What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have a nice and beautiful question on the board that says find the value of x given that x to the power of 9 plus x to the power of 5 all over x to the power of 8 plus x to the power of 6 is equal to 7 all over 3. Well, our first step will be for us to factorize. On the numerator, x to the power of 5 is common, so we can factor out x to the power of 5, open bracket. Now, x to the power of 9 divided by this, we have x to the power of 4 plus this divided by this is 1 all over. Now, on the denominator, x to the power 6 is common, so we can factor out x to the power 6, open bracket. This divided by this is x squared plus this divided by this is 1. And this is equal to 7 all over 3. Now let's divide. X to the power of 5 divided by x to the power of 5 is 1. X to the power 6 divided by x to the power of 5 is x. So 1 times this is x to the power 4 plus 1 all over the denominator. We have x times x squared plus 1. And this is equal to 7 all over 3. Now, our next step will be for us to cross multiply. So we're going to use this 3 to multiply the numerator. So 3 times x to the power 4 plus 1. This is equal to, now we use 7 to multiply the denominator. So 7 times x squared plus 1. Now let's open up the bracket by using this 3 to multiply everything inside of the bracket. So 3 times x to the power 4 is 3x to the power 4 plus 3 times 1 is 3. This is equal to 7x times x squared is 7x cubed plus 7x times 1 is 7x. Now we have to move everything on the right to the left hand side. So we have 3x to the power 4 plus 3. And as this crosses, it becomes minus 7x to the power 3. This crosses, it becomes minus 7x, and this is equal to 0. Now we have a nice quadratic equation, but we have to rearrange. So this will be 3x to the power 4, now minus 7x cubed, now minus 7x, then before writing plus 3 equal to 0. Now notice something, that we have a reciprocal equation. What that means is that the coefficients are the same from front and back. We have 3, we have negative 7, there is no x squared, that means its coefficient is 0. Then we have negative 7 and we have 3. So how do we solve a reciprocal equation? Since the degree is even, we're going to be dividing through by x to the power of 2. So this becomes 3x to the power 4 divided by x to the power 2 minus 7x cubed divided by x to the power 2 minus 7x divided by x to the power 2 and then plus 3 divided by x to the power 2 equal to 0 divided by x to the power 2. Now this becomes 3 x to the power 4 divided by x squared is x squared minus, this is 7, x cubed divided by x squared is x, and then minus, this is 7, x divided by x squared is, we have x, then plus, this is 3 all over x squared to be equal to 0 divided by x squared is still 0. Now we can rearrange this. This is 3x squared plus 3 all over x squared. And then we have minus 7x minus 7 all over x to be equal to 0. Now from the first two terms, you see that 3 is common, so we can factor out 3. Open bracket. Now we have x squared plus 1 all over x squared remaining. And then from the other two terms, Negative is common, so we can factor out negative 7. Then open bracket. What is left will be x. Now negative times negative is positive. Then here I have 1 over x. And this is equal to 0. Now in this case, we can now introduce substitution. We can say that let this, which is x plus 1 over x, be equal to u. And when we square both sides, let's say x plus 1 over x, let's square the left and also square the right hand side. The expansion of this is from this identity, which is a plus b all squared, which can be expanded as a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. Now let's expand this in this form. So this will be x squared plus 1 all over x squared plus 2 times x times 1 over x. That is in this form. This is equal to u squared. Now simplifying, we have x squared plus, now 1 all over x all squared is same as 1 all over x squared. And then plus, this x can cancel out this x, leaving behind 2 times 1, that will be 2, to be equal to u squared. Now let's move this 2 to the right hand side so that we have x squared plus 1 all over x squared to be equal to u squared. And as 2 crosses, it becomes minus 2. So we have something to substitute. X plus 1 all over x, which is what we have here, substitute u. And x squared plus 1 all over x squared, which is what we have here, we substitute u squared minus 2. So let's substitute. So we have 3 times this, which is u squared minus 2, and then minus 7 times this, which is going to be u, and this is equal to 0. Now let's open up this bracket by distributing this 3 inside. So this becomes 3u squared minus 3 times 2, that is 6, minus 7u equal to 0. So we have a nice quadratic equation, but let's rearrange it. So this is 3u squared minus 7u, and then minus 6 equal to 0. Now let's see if we can factorize. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. Now, what are the factors of negative 18 that I'm going to be using? It will be minus 9 times 2. This is acceptable because minus 9 times 2 is negative 18. And minus 9u plus 2u is going to give negative 7u. So this is acceptable. That means this equation can be written as 3u squared. Now, instead of writing this, I'm going to be writing this minus 9u plus 2u, and then minus 6 equal to 0. Now, let's factorize. 3u is common, so I'll factor out 3u. Now, this divided by this is u, minus this divided by this is 3. And then plus, now 2 is common here, so factor out 2. Now, this divided by this is u, minus this divided by this is 3, and this is equal to 0. And since u minus 3 is common, we bring that out, u minus 3 times 3u will remain here, 3u plus, now 2 will remain here, and this is equal to 0. So we have two cases. We have u minus 3 to be equal to 0, or we have 3u plus 2 to be equal to 0. Now from the first case, u will be equal to 3 as we move negative 3 to the right. And then from the second case, we're going to have 3u to be equal to, as I move this to the right, it becomes negative 2. Now divide both sides by 3. 3 cancels out, leaving u to be equal to negative 2 all over 3. So we have u to be 3 and u to be negative 2 over 3. Now we're going to be substituting this into our substitution. Recall that we said, let's write recall here. Recall that we said x plus 1 over x is equal to u. Now, when u is equal to 3, which is from this first case, this will be x plus 1 over x to be equal to 3. Now, since we have x as the denominator, we can remove the bracket by multiplying through by x. So x times x is x squared plus x times 1 over x is 1 equal to x times 3 is 3x. Now let's move this 3x to the left. So we have x squared as this crosses becomes minus 3x and then plus 1. And this is equal to 0. So we have a nice quadratic equation. Now let's solve this real quick. In this quadratic equation, we're going to be using the quadratic formula to solve it. So our a here is 1, our b is negative 3, and our c is 1. We're looking for x, so the quadratic formula will look like negative b plus or minus the square roots of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now let's substitute here. So our x will be minus b is negative 3, plus or minus the square roots of b squared, that will be negative 3 squared, minus 4 times a is 1, c is also 1. That is it. Let me remove that. So all over 2 times a, that is 2 times 1. Now let's simplify. So we have x to be equal to negative times negative is positive, so we have 3, plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared is 9, minus 4 times 1 is 4, all over 2 times 1 is 2. So making the value of x to be 3 plus or minus the square roots of 9 minus 4 is 5, all over 2. So there are basically two values of x here. X is equal to 3 plus the square root of 5 over 2, or x is 3 minus the square root of 5 over 2. So this is a real value for x, or these are real values for x. Now let's solve for when u is equal to negative 2 all over 3. Now recall that x plus 1 over x is equal to u. Let's plug this here. We're going to have x plus 1 over x to be equal to u is negative 2 over 3. Now we have 3 times x on the denominator. So 3 times x is 3x. Now to clear the fraction, we multiply through by 3x. 3x times x is 3x squared plus 3x times 1 over x is 3 equal to 3x times negative 2 over 3. We have negative 2x. Now let's move this negative 2x to the left. We have 3x squared. As this crosses, it becomes positive 2x, and then plus 3 equal to 0. We're also going to use the quadratic formula. So a from here is 3, b from here is 2, while c is 3. We're looking for x, so the quadratic formula will be negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now let's substitute. X will be negative b, that is negative 2, plus or minus the square root of b squared, that will be 2 squared, minus 4 times a is 3, times c is also 3, all over 2 times a, that will be 2 times 3. Now simplifying further, x will be negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared is 4, minus 4 times 3 is 12, times 3 is 36. So we have 36 all over 2 times 3 is 6. So making x to be negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus 36 is negative 32 all over 6. Now simplifying, x will be negative 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 32 is same as 16 times 2 times negative 1 all over 6. And if I have to simplify further, I'll have x to be negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 16 times the square root of 2 times the square root of negative 1 all over 6. And this will be x equal to negative 2 plus or minus. Now, I'm going to be doing this first. The square root of negative 1 is I. And the square root of 16 is 4. Then I'm going to be leaving this inside of the radical. So the square root of 2 all over 6. So there are two values of x from here. So x is negative 2 plus I 4 root 2 all over 6, or x is equal to negative 2 minus I 4 root 2 all over 6. So this is the third solution for x, and this is the fourth solution for x. So we have two real solutions and two complex solutions for x. Well, feel free to share your ideas in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and have learned something from this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos. And like I always say, until next time, take care.